Okay, so remember how cartoons were supposed to be lighthearted, innocent fun, and all of that stuff? Yeah, well, it turns out a lot of our childhood innocence was just us being too dumb to realize how freaky these shows really were. Because when you rewatch them as an adult, you start catching jokes, sus references, and moments in general that should have never been played on kids' networks. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Cartoon scenes that absolutely weren't made for kids. And trust me, once you hear these, you'll never look at your childhood the same way again. Okay, let's start off with something crazy. SpongeBob SquarePants, the panty raid. In this episode, Mr. Krabs feels old and depressed, so SpongeBob and Patrick decide to take him out for a wild night. They do some goofy stuff here and there, but then they suggest a panty raid. And yes, they literally break into a woman's house to steal her underwear. Typically, as kids, we just thought, silly SpongeBob adventure. But now as adults, brother, Nickelodeon really let their mascot commit a crime on primetime TV. Because this is some kind of GTA-type mission that would instantly give you 5 stars. And it only gets worse, because the underwear belongs to Mr. Krabs' mom. This episode was actually banned, but the fact that this was on TV for kids is just insane. Another crazy scene that is absolutely not made for kids is in Rocco's Modern Life, Rocco's Job. This show was about a wallaby living his suburban life, but the writers, they were straight up trolling us. Because in one episode, Rocco gets a job at a phone company, and his actual job description? Being a phone sex operator. I mean, you can actually see some signs of it as this poster says it all. The man literally sits in a booth, answers calls, and says, "Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Rocco? Mrs. Bighead?"
Okay, let's be honest. That's not even subtle. As kids, we might have laughed at the funny accent. But now as adults, Nickelodeon gave this man a job at OnlyFans before OnlyFans even existed. Next is Ren and Stimpy. Disturbing nightmares. Alright, if you've watched this show, you already knew it wasn't normal. This show wasn't just weird, it was psychological warfare. An example would be the Happy Helmet episode, where Stimpy is forced to wear a device that shocks him into smiling while Ren tortures him. Or the scene where Ren literally saws Stimpy's stomach open and climbs inside him. Now most of their episodes are banned, and some of them wouldn't even be allowed on YouTube. Yeah, that's how messed up it actually is. Because this isn't kids' comedy, that's a horror movie. And don't even get me started on the sound effects. Wet squishing, creepy breathing, which, man, is definitely uncomfortable. Nickelodeon basically handed children a crash course in body horror. Honestly, Ren and Stimpy wasn't ahead of its time. It was just wrong. Let's talk about Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now, Courage was already nightmare fuel, but the freakiest scene ever has to be the floating CGI head that whispers, "You're not perfect." No explanation, no reason. It just stares into Courage's soul and ours. Every other cartoon was teaching kids to believe in themselves, but Courage hit us with crippling anxiety and a haunting mantra we still hear in the shower to this day. Now, this one isn't totally bad, but I think this scene is just too creepy for kids to handle. Next one should definitely be Pepe Le Pew from the show Looney Tune. Alright, this one's the elephant, or skunk, in the room. Pepe Le Pew. As kids, he was funny. As adults, he's straight up a predator. Dude spent every episode forcing himself on a terrified cat who wanted nothing to do with him, which is creepy. The joke was that Pepe was endlessly romantic and very French, which, you know what that means, right? But in reality, his behavior was pushy, clingy, and outright harassing. Now, to be honest, I really love this show. In fact, as kids, we might not have understood it properly and only saw some scenes as genius. As adults, that's one of the reasons I considered mentioning it. But nonetheless, Pepe Le Pew's actions are still very questionable. Number 9, Animaniacs, the fingerprints joke. Animaniacs was already famous for sneaking in adult humor, but this one was a bit too far. There's a scene where Dot is told to fingerprints. She then holds up a tiny prince, yes, the singer. Then she looks at the camera and says, "I don't think so."
No, fingerprints.
I don't think so.
That's not even hidden. That's a straight-up dirty joke on daytime kids' TV. Like, I wonder what parents watching back in the 90s were thinking when they heard that stuff, while we, as kids back then, were completely clueless. Unless, of course, you were one of those kids who knew too much for their age. You know what I'm talking about. And finally, let's talk about Dexter's Laboratory. This one isn't freaky, just hilarious. You see, Dexter gets stuck saying only omelette du fromage, and suddenly every girl in school swoons over him. As kids, we thought it was silly. As adults, the writers basically told us, learn French and women will throw themselves at you. Not wrong, but also not exactly a kid's lesson. If you watched the video this far, it definitely means you found it interesting or maybe enjoyed it a little bit. So please, do us a favor and subscribe. We'll definitely be doing more interesting topics like this, and this is just the start. See you soon.